welcome back to the garden. Today we're up in the Polytunnel. It's April the 4th and we are going to be planting my peas out today. Very excited about this. When I sowed them all the way back in January, I had envisioned that they would have already been in, but they didn't, for one reason or another. Namely, it's been really cold and miserable. So second day of this beautiful weather, and it's time to get them in the ground today. But very quickly, before we get on to that, I'll just give you a little recap of what I've got growing in here at the moment. Now, yesterday, the 3rd of April, I planted some spinach just out there. Now, I actually would have released this on a video a couple of days ago. So in the last video you saw, when I was up here, we put some onions in down the side and just down the front there. They're doing really well. I've also got the spinach that I sowed. I think there's 10 spinach plants there. They've made it through the night really lovely, and no signs of any snails or insect damage whatsoever. But another thing I've done is bring up my strawberry plants. Now I'm going to be planting my peas in here. That is giving me a load of room for my seedlings to, get going in there now. So I thought the strawberries in pots are just in the way. I've got all of this lovely empty space at the moment, so I've brought them up, and hopefully they'll start growing really nicely in here, and I can just move them around as I need the space until I work out where I'm going to be putting the strawberries. So we've got the El Santo in the front there, just to the left down there we've got the Symphony, and then we have a little pot here, quite a shallow pot, that I put some homegrown strawberries in. Well, I say homegrown, they are strawberry plants I've had for a number of years, and they originally came from Liz Zorab. So I've brought them in here as well so they can get a little bit warmer, and possibly, because it's such a lovely pot, I will then put it on a table or something like that. I'm not sure, but for the moment they can grow on in here and make full use of this lovely warmth that the Polytunnel is providing. But anyway, I think that's enough of a recap for you. Let's get on to the main event and get these peas planted. So excited about this. I've actually only ever grown Monge once before, and that was around about here actually, when I had raised beds here before the Polytunnel. I've never grown peas for podding, and I've never grown peas for podding inside a Polytunnel, so it'd be really interesting to see how we get on this year. I was having a little think last night where the best place in the Polytunnel to grow the peas were, and I was actually thinking in this corner here, because the sun rises over that side and then moves all the way around. So if I put the peas in this corner, it's only going to be giving shade at the end of the evening. But then I realised, if I've got the peas against the side of the Polytunnel there, it's obviously curved, so it's not going to give as much space to those peas, but also it's going to make it really awkward when I come to harvest them. So what I thought was the best thing to do is actually have them in the middle row here, and I'm going to be using this plastic netting to grow them up. And with this plastic netting, it's not the really thin kind of stringy stuff that animals can get tangled up in. It's much more rigid, so I am hoping that it's going to be nature friendly. But the best thing about this was it was free. And then when I was thinking how I would actually kind of support this, it came to me that I can use some bamboo canes, and with the bamboo canes you can actually thread the canes through. So I've got 5 canes up here. We're going to just spread or undo this because it's tied up at the moment, kind of see how wide it is. I can thread these canes through, and then essentially we can have, depending on how long it is, I can just have it along here, and then they should easily be able to kind of grow and attach onto the netting at the bottom. And then when we get to the top, I will use this plastic nylon string that I've got and kind of attach it in such a way that hopefully the peas can continue to grow. This is plastic string. It's actually old diving string. My husband Lloyd used to do a load of diving, and this is just kind of left over from those days. So yeah, I'm going to use that along there. What is really good about this string though is it's really strong, so it does make it all kind of the way through the season, and then it can be taken down later in the year. So yeah, that is it. We're going to just maybe turn the camera around now, get this all threaded up, and then we can put it up, see how much space we've got. I'm really excited about this. while we're doing this now, if you've got any tips on growing peas, any varieties that you love to grow, these are early onward, let me know down below in the comments. Leaving me tips on growing things is great, but also it means other people watching this video can go down to the comments and read them too and learn, which is what we're all here for, isn't it? So here is the netting. I'm not sure what this netting is called, but it seems pretty good. You know, it definitely lasts a very, very long time. Looking at it here though, it has actually been cut either side. So at the bottom there has been a bit cut out and the bottom there. So maybe if we have it kind of this way up, I can just help the bottom bits, the bottom plants at either edge climb up a little bit. So yeah, really pleased with that. So all I'm going to do now is just get a bamboo cane and try and kind of thread it through a couple of places. These are just really cheap bamboo canes that you get in the cheap kind of budget shops. Why I thought these would be good is because they're much thinner. So it should, in theory, allow me to thread it much easier. So there you go. That is what I'm going to do with the rest of it. And then hopefully, maybe I will need to attach it a little bit. Maybe if the peas are all on here, it's going to push it down. I don't know, but I think this is a good plan so far. This seems like such an easy method, so hopefully it's successful, and then I can do the same year on, because when I was in the garden centre the other day they had a big sheet of this actually, so it's quite easy to get hold of and to buy. Now we're just going to put it in the ground and we can see how steady the netting is after that. So happens that the ground is actually really quite hard here. So they don't want to go in the ground, right? And that cane's just broken. See, when things seem like they're going to plan or is really easy, it usually turns out that something will go wrong. Okay, this bamboo cane is about to break as well. These are old canes, but just in the corner there, I have the canes that I used for my tomatoes last year, and they are also quite thin, cheap ones too. So I'm going to quickly grab those and then we can reinforce it. Right, here we are. We can do some reinforcements now. I'm pretty pleased with that, but now I think I'm just going to put 2 reinforcing ones on either end, and I think that will be sturdy enough to let the peas grow up. I'm really pleased with that. I think it's quite sturdy now. So all I'm going to do is just make a trench with my trowel down either side. This area of the polytunnel was a little bit more clayey because when I was originally having a greenhouse up here, I dug the trench for the greenhouse and all the kind of topsoil went in a big mound here. And then over the years it got like a little bit compacted. Both trenches have been dug now, so I'm happy to start putting them in. I had mentioned, I don't know, maybe a month or 2 ago that some of them hadn't come up and I was going to get some seeds and also plant them with them at the same time, but I haven't actually picked up any more early onward seeds. So I think this is probably enough room for them. So we'll start putting them in now. Hopefully I can put them really close together and we then shouldn't have any gaps, and it should fill this space up really nicely. So that's the first one in. It's looking a little bit sorry for itself, but they did get a lot of sun yesterday, so I think they're definitely going to be really thankful that they're in the ground now, because look at that. Hopefully we're going to see them shooting up day by day. I think I'll just place them in the trench for now, so I can make sure I've got my spacing right, and then fully put them in. There are a couple there that are absolutely rubbish, so I'm not going to worry about putting those in. It'd probably been a lot quicker if I'd done the Jeff Hamilton method and grown them in drain pipes. Before I fully plant them in, I think I'm just going to give the trenches a really quick water, which will help them establish a lot more. They're all planted in now, so I'm going to give them one final water now. I am so pleased that I managed to get this little task done today. I have got so much room now in my greenhouse on my kind of potting bench, so I'm definitely going to be sowing some more seeds over the next couple of days. I had mentioned that I was going to be using the plastic, the pink plastic string kind of above here. But while they're still quite small, I think I'm going to leave it, and then as they get bigger I can work out exactly how I'm going to support them as they go up, because I think it might take me a very long time to thread loads of string all the way along, so watch this space. I'm also really pleased that I am still using rainwater. I've got a couple of water butts that are still really full, so it should keep me going for another month or so, and then hopefully next year I can think about how I can support my irrigation system with using rainwater. If you're a seasoned pea grower, don't forget to leave us a top tip down below in the comments. I, for one, would definitely love to hear it, but I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this video that would also love some tips too. I'm going to leave the video here. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching today. I've really enjoyed planting them out and bringing you along. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of all of my latest videos. As ever, YouTube have some videos up now on the screen that they think you will like, so please go ahead and watch those, and I'll catch up with you in next episode. Bye!